Good morning, you guys. We are going to spend the day, morning at least, together, going to the gym, working out. It was supposed to be at the gym like 30 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. It's 5:15. I should be back home by 6:15. So it'll be a short workout. We're going to the gym right now before my husband leaves for work. It's gonna be working 12 hours today, and so it's just gonna be me and the kids. The boys starting to get some kind of cold because of all the sugars for Christmas season, so we're gonna also be making some bone broth this morning. We're also gonna be making some bagels. We might make a trip to Costco, so let's go to the gym, do some quick workout. Today is back and shoulder day, so alright, the hour workout is done. It was super short, it was like 30 minutes. Normally I like to spend an hour at the gym, but I got up late. So I did like four exercises with 3 sets of really heavy weights. That's what I do when I don't have a lot of time. And I usually end my workouts with like an ab exercise and a glute exercise. And then I do 20 minutes either a fast walk on the treadmill or on the stair stepper. But that's if I usually have an hour to spare. And I slept in this morning. So we're headed home. We're gonna spend a couple minutes with husband before he goes to work, eat some protein, and get ready for the day. Kids are still sleeping. Came home, made my protein shake, and I did some... So bright. I did some like social media engagement, answered some client messages, scheduled some client check-ins as well. Now that that's taken care of business-wise for a little bit, I'm going to get myself somewhat ready. We're gonna make some bagels and start the bone broth and also breakfast. So it's now 7, so I spent like 45 minutes doing business things, and now we're putting business things away and doing homemaking things. A little bit about my fitness progress, I guess. I have never had like, you can't really see a tricep there, but I've never had like defined muscles or anything like that. I only started weightlifting this year in like March 2023 regularly. 1, to do a Spartan race, and 2, because I had 2 kids back to back and I wanted to be in shape. I signed up to do a Spartan race to kind of give me some motivation to get in shape, and I had like 3 months to prepare, which I did. But I also noticed when I went to the gym and weightlifted regularly, I was like 4 months postpartum when I started doing that, my mental health greatly improved, and especially I started like increasing protein intake. Going to the gym, it wasn't about building these guns here. These are just the physical benefits are just a plus. So I went to the gym regularly because it was keeping me sane. My postpartum depression and anxiety and rage greatly lessened, and I was able to show up a lot better in life as a mom and as a wife. And I don't know, like lifting weights and the endorphins you get from lifting weights really combated those depression hormones and helped me out a lot. So if you struggle with mental health, I highly recommend you pick up something really heavy and set it down several times, and then eat a lot of protein. Eat a lot of protein and watch what happens in like 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, my children are sleeping just next door, so I'm trying to talk a little softly so I don't make them think that they need to wake up. But what I'm going to do is get these bagels shaped, proofing, and then we'll start breakfast. I will have later on in my channel a tutorial on how to make homemade bagels, homemade sourdough bagels. So stay tuned for that. But Right now, I'm just gonna shape them right now. Okay. Alright, here is my last bagel. And we're gonna layer right there. So we have 8 bagels. Here is breakfast for Mama. Oh, is that so good? Yeah. Breakfast is done. Boys are playing. It has been almost an hour and a half since I've shaped these bagels. They've been puffing nicely, and I think they're ready to start boiling. So while I'm cleaning the kitchen, I'm going to heat up a pot of water to boil, and I will show you very quickly how to make bagels. They're gonna go in the oven. The oven's preheated, and we're gonna bake them. No, they're really hot, so don't touch. All right, so we just got back from Costco. Kids are napping. As soon as we got home, I put them down for a nap, and I did some more work stuff of getting clients onboarded while I was waiting for them to go to sleep. Here is my Costco haul real quick. And while we were eating, we are just going to refresh our memory on how to make bone broth, because I haven't made it in a long while. I, on my Instagram, have way down somewhere a reel where I made bone broth, and everything was right except for the very last step where I only simmered the bones for like 2 hours, I think. So technically I made chicken stock and not bone broth to get all the collagen and nutrients extracted from the bones. So this time what you're supposed to do is boil or simmer the bones on low for 24 hours. And what this collagen is good for is, one, healing the gut, which is essential for my husband because he's been taking Tylenol, and Tylenol is a major depletes your glutathione levels, like 1 dose, and it takes like a month to rebuild. And your glutathione is your major antioxidant. What we're doing is, one, rebuilding his gut health there for that, and then also because my kids are starting to get colds, and because they've had a high sugar diet from the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff. That's just to rebuild their gut lining as well. That is the whole reason why we're doing bone broth. Also, you can cook rice in bone broth instead of water, and what it does is it increases the nutrients and the protein content of your rice. So that's another excellent way to use it up. And also for soups, but my boys don't really eat soups yet. So I'm waiting until the day they eat soup so that I can have soup again. Alright, first thing we are going to do is attempt to split the chicken down the breast part, the breast bones. I did not do a good job with that last time, so let's see how good we do this time. And I am aware of the innards that need to come out, so you can't surprise me this time. Nothing's coming out. There's nothing in this one. The last time I dumped out a chicken, some innards came out, but I guess this one doesn't have innards, so. All right, the breast. This is the back, that is this part. We are going to attempt to cut it. I don't know. Oh, it made a squelchy sound. Oh. Poked through something, cartilage maybe. I should really just watch a video sometime on YouTube on how to properly split a chicken and handle a chicken, because I don't know how. I think this is broken. I think this is good. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know if that's actually necessary to split it down the breast. That's just what somebody told me to do, and I'm just doing it. I don't know if this pot is big enough. Yes. Uh-oh. Hopefully the water doesn't overflow. Actually, I'm just gonna transfer it to a new pot, because, yeah. So, I'm obviously not a pro at making bone broth. Otherwise, I would have known that this is the pot and the other one's not. This is my second time making bone broth. Carrots, I don't think I need to cut these, so. We're just gonna cut them up into like large pieces. We'll do one whole thingy. What is it? Bulb of garlic. And all we're gonna do is crack it a little bit. We're not cutting it up or anything, we're just putting in the whole thing. But we're opening it a little bit, like smashing it, I guess. And the onion. Alright, our veggies are good. My eyes are starting to water a little bit, so we're gonna put this in the pot. Maybe it's a bit much. It's pretty full of veggies. I think I'm probably gonna remove some of it. Like at least some of the carrots and celery, because we don't need that much. I just wanted it, you know, super flavorful and not bland, but we still have a few more things, whoops, we need to put in there, so I'm gonna remove some. I've got this sprig of dried rosemary. I'm just gonna put in there on its own. And then the last couple things we'll need is some black peppercorn here. Just put a whole good amount like this in there. Maybe more. Again, we're trying to make it flavorful and not bland and brothy. And a couple bay leaves. A few. We'll do like 4. And then I'm actually gonna add a heaping load of salt, because salt is gonna be what really makes the flavor stand out. I'm not measuring anything, I'm just adding things in to get the most amount of flavor as possible. So after a couple hours, almost 2.5 hours of simmering, I took the chicken out and I separated all of the bones and the veggies and herbs and spices. All of those stayed in the pot while I took out the chicken carcass and meat and pulled the bones off. The chicken was so soft, the bones practically fell out of it, or the meat fell off the bones, I guess is the right saying. But I ended up using a lot of that chicken for meal prep for the rest of the week. A good majority of it went to the chicken Alfredo that I made for dinner that night. But after I was done separating, and this was a very tedious process to separate all the bones from the chicken's meat, but I eventually got it all, transferred all the bones and the veggies from earlier that was on overflow back into the pot, and I left it to simmer on low for 24 hours. So it went all night and into the next day. After 24 hours was over, I then proceeded to separate or strain the broth from the veggies and spices and bones. And that was a process of carefully straining the big chunks out of it into a big glass pitcher bowl that I had, and then transferring it into a large half-gallon canning jars. I used a nut milk bag as the fine sieve, I guess, or fine straining parts of it, and that just takes out the really small, maybe herbs and spices that, and a good majority, like maybe the extra fat that didn't slip through the main sieve. and I just continued with that. At the end, I ended up with about 1.5 gallons of bone broth, and I used it for cooking rice, boiling pasta, basically anything that required some kind of chicken stock or chicken broth, or even sometimes water to cook. I just replaced it with bone broth, and I got the benefits of the collagen, nutrients, and added protein. And that, my friends, is how you properly make bone broth. Well, that is all for this vlog, but thanks for hanging out with me. And if anything, I will see you in the next video. Thanks.